The Wrestling Depot presents 7 Stars in the Tokyo Dome.
Hello everybody and welcome to another premiere episode of the TWD 7 Stars in the Tokyo Dome with me, your host Smithy G, and as always with me, my main man, my partner in crime, Dr. Lucharos. How you doing, brother?
Hello, sweetheart.
How we doing?
All good. Just finished work. Straight into it.
As you do. So, here we are again. Another night of complete craziness. Another episode of we never know what the fucking hell is going to happen. So, yeah, here we go. So, what have we got in store for us tonight, my friend?
Well, what's on the menu? Let's have a look in, is it? Right, so today, we are going to watch the Wrestlemania 17 Gimmick Battle Royal. As you understand, as you go from episode to episode, we don't take this serious. This is the wrestling world, but the obscure wrestling world through our vision. So today we are going to sit and we are going to watch the Gimmick Battle Royal from WrestleMania 17, April 1st, 2001. In my opinion, this is probably the best WrestleMania ever.
It's definitely up there. Definitely up there.
Let's have a run through the match card, shall we?
Yeah, so what we got?
Right, so on Sunday Night Heat, it was X Factor. Oh, remember them? X Factor, Just Incredible.
Wow.
With Albert. They defeated Steve Blackman and Grandmaster Sexy. Then kicking off the main card, we had Jericho versus William Regal for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
6-man tag, Taz and the APA, Bradshaw and Farouk, with Jacqueline, defeated RTC, Right to Censor, the Good Father, Val Venus and Bull Buchanan, with Stevie Richards.
Remember them.
Why didn't we pick this match? The hardcore triple threat, the hardcore title, Kane, Raven and Big Show,
yeah.
Where the match almost completely cut off the whole feed to the networks because Raven almost ran over the whole power cable in a golf cart.
Oh, God, can you imagine if he had done that?
We've got to come back and we've got to revisit that one because that match was brilliant.
We will have to revisit that one.
Eddie Guerrero versus Test for the European Championship.
Wow.
Angle versus Benoit for the it was just a singles match. China and Ivory for the women's title. Shane McMahon versus Linda. What am I on about? Shane with Linda versus Vince with Stephanie and Trish.
And I will say that I was reading a fun fact about that particular match.
Go on.
It was the very, very first time that Shane McMahon ever used Coast to Coast.
That was actually, yeah.
Yeah, mad.
And then the next match then was TLC 2, the second TLC match, which was Edge and Christian versus the Dudleys versus the Hardys.
Obviously.
Then it was the Gimmick Battle Royale that we're going to be watching now. Then it was Undertaker versus Triple H. And then the main event,
Stone Cold versus The Rock.
Yeah. 12 match cards stacked.
Yeah. A really, really good card. But was any of them 7 stars in the Tokyo Dome, though?
This one was.
This is what we. This is what we've got to figure out.
Yeah, this one was.
Well, only time will tell. So, as we do every week, as we do every pod, we have got to have our TWD, Dr. Lucha and Smithy G beer of the week. So, my friend, what have you got in store for us today?
Oh, well, I haven't really been on the pop, to be honest, since our little night out on the weekend.
Well, we did have a good night out on the weekend.
Yeah, it was great. Bowling and food. But I did, however, I was trying the Heineken Silver on the weekend when we was out. I enjoyed that. So, congratulations, Heine Silver.
Oh, a Heineken Silver is Dr. Lucha's beer of the week. So,
what's your nomination, Uncle Smithers?
Smithy G's beer of the week. So, as you explained, we had a swift few on the weekend for a little couples night out we had with amongst us and a couple of our friends. We did partake in quite a few fine beverages, to say the least. So,
yes.
But since I had we had a couple of days off, and I had a nice tipple last night, and I have one left with me now, and I had a nice bottle. I believe it's called Zwick, and I believe it's Polish. I believe it's a Polish lager. I believe.
I like it. I'll take your word for it.
It is a very, very tasty lager. So I apologize if I'm pronouncing it wrong or if I've got the actual place wrong where it's from. But I'm pretty sure it's Polish. So my beer of the week goes to Zwick.
Once again, showing we are the world's most unprofessional podcast. Zero research into the Zwick.
Hey, it's been a good Zwick, man.
Anyway,
so
I'm not on the pop. I'm on the H2O. But Heineken Silver, congratulations, you're in the Hall of Fame. What's the timestamp?
So, as we said, Gimmick Battle Royal, Wrestlemania 17. If you do want to watch along with us and add to your podcast experience, 2 hours 16:55 into the pay-per-view is where we are going to be starting our fantastic Battle Royal journey. So, Luch, start us off, bro. Give us a countdown.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
And we're off. So,
here we go.
Fantastic staging.
Oh, that WrestleMania stage, right, is probably my favourite.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a real... here we are. Look, you can't have a good gimmick without a good Mean Gene appearance.
I can always remember, right, when I was watching this when I was younger, okay? Don't get me wrong, I've been a fan since 96. This was 01, yeah? Right? But I was young, right?
Yeah.
This match introduced me to all of the crazy gimmicks of the early 90s and 80s, right? That made me go back and look into these guys.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm a little bit older than you, so most of my early wrestling experiences came from this sort of era, from the late 80s, early 90s. And in my opinion, probably one of the greatest manager/commentators to ever do it. Bobby the Brain. Bobby the Brain was brilliant.
Yeah, the Brain, he was awesome.
Him and Vince
Weasel.
McMahon. Him and Vince McMahon on commentary always used to be brilliant. And as much as we don't talk about it, as is probably classed as probably one of the worst WrestleManias of all time, WrestleMania 9, when he was carried out on the I don't know what you bloody call it.
On the throne, the chair.
On the throne chair thing.
Yeah.
And
like all dressed as like going to a toga party.
Yeah, it was Bobby the Brain, and I was absolutely hilarious.
Because where was that? Caesar's Palace, that wasn't it?
Caesar's Palace, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. The Bushwhackers.
Do you know what's mad though? It's like we say about the Bushwhackers as a cheesy gimmick. They were brutal on the deathmatch scene.
Yeah, when they were the sheep herders.
Yeah, they were insane. Like,
oh, they couldn't do that stuff. They couldn't do that stuff in WWE, like, could they?
Not back then.
There he is, Duke. Duke the dumpster drove. Duke
the dumpster.
Trash can in hand.
I got it. Here we go again. With my absolutely awful Wi-Fi. Well, here we go. I'm back in.
You can catch up a little bit.
I'm on 219. 24, am I?
Yeah, you need to come forward a little bit. Iron Sheik.
Yeah, Iron Sheik is coming out now. Yeah, I got it. I'm back in.
Iron Sheik.
The crazy.
What? Wait a minute now, right? Bobby the Brain Heenan says something really funny there.
What did he say?
Hang on, I'm waiting for it. Wait for it.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, there he goes. By the time Iron Sheik gets to the ring, it'll be WrestleMania 38.
I'm
WrestleMania
pretty
38
sure
was
as
last
well.
year, wasn't it?
You look at blooming at the Iron Sheik shoes. I'm pretty sure they don't fit him.
Iron Sheik is just, I can't even describe. I don't even know. He's the Iron Sheik.
He is crazy.
Earthquake, old John Tenter.
I used to. I don't see the Earthquake as a cheesy gimmick.
Oh,
The Earthquake. Oh, the
yes.
goon. The goon, man. As cheesy gimmicks go, I thought Earthquake and Typhoon were great as the national disasters.
Yeah, but it was a gimmick, though, wasn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it was a cheesy gimmick.
Everything was a gimmick back then.
Oh, yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, old Doink. Who is Doink by you? It's not Matt Bourne. I think.
No.
Is it Brooklyn Brawler?
Brooklyn Brawler was Doink, wasn't he? He's had so many blooming people beat him, haven't he?
Wasn't Brooklyn Brawler in this match?
I can't remember. No, I don't think he was.
We'll find out. Oh.
Well, if it
I don't think it was Matt Bourne there.
No, I don't think it was.
Yeah, he is, man.
Oh,
Come on,
there he is.
With Kimchi and Harvey Whippleman.
Kimchi, remember Kimchi?
Harvey Whippleman was Kimchi.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was.
Yeah, who became Kimchi afterwards?
Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember. Well, wasn't it something? Was it what's his name?
Repo Man.
I used to love the Repo Man. I think it was 1992. I went to watch my first wrestling event in I think it was Birmingham, and it was Repo Man versus Crush.
Oh, show. No business about to pick up. Mr. Cornette.
Mr. Ass himself.
Mr. Cornette and his trusty tennis racket.
You gotta love Jim, man. He's an arsehole, but you gotta love him.
Oh, Nikolai.
Nikolai
Volkov. Would have been great just to have him sing the Russian anthem just before the match.
Probably not now, but
we're not going down that route.
No, we're not going down that route.
We're not going down that route.
We've got every podcast. We've got to have our not going down that road.
Here he comes.
Oh my god!
The Freebird, Michael Hayes, Doc Hendricks.
Fantastic. He's even still got the swagger.
Straight out of Bad Street, USA.
Now, one of my all-time favourite films is Highlander.
Mm-hmm.
And the opening scene of the film, or one of the opening scenes, is he sat. Conor McLeod is sat in. Oh my God, one man gang.
One man gang. Yeah. What was he? He's Akeem, the African Dream.
That's it. He sat in Madison Square Garden watching the wrestling, and it's I can't remember the other team that it might be. The Orient Express.
Midnight Express.
Midnight
on
Express.
air
I was going to say, yeah, I think it was against. I was going to say the Orient Express and the
Rock and Roll Express.
Rock and Roll Express. And
I can't remember. Man. I haven't seen it for years.
And it's the Freebirds on it. And for ages and ages, I didn't realise it was them. And I've loved that film for a long, long time.
Michael Pierce. Oh, the gobbledygooker.
Oh God, alive.
The Undertaker thought that egg was going to be for him when he debuted, and that he was going to be called Eggman. True story. The Undertaker and Gobbledygooker debuted on the same night.
Who actually was the Gobbledygooker?
Oh, I don't know. There was loads of people under there. I believe one of them was one of the Guerreros, Hector Guerrero, I think, was the one who on
There
that
he is,
night,
right?
on that
Tugboat.
night of Survivor Series, that Survivor Series that he debuted. I think it was Hector Guerrero.
So,
Tugboat, aka the Taskmaster.
so who do you prefer? Do you prefer Tugboat or do you prefer Typhoon?
I don't know. I don't know, because that wasn't really my
Oh
era.
my God, Hillbilly Jim.
Hillbilly Jim, the man with the longest Hall of Fame speech on record.
But it wasn't a bad speech, was it?
It was just super, super long, but Hillbilly Jim, yeah.
Didn't they think that he was going to be like one of the biggest names in wrestling? Like,
He was a big guy. He was a big guy.
Vince put a lot of blooming thing into Hillbilly Jim.
Do you know if he wasn't put with a gimmick like that, Hillbilly Jim really could have been somebody. He was a big guy, like, and that's what Vince loved. That it is Brucey P, brother love,
brother love.
They've just got everyone and their dog in this match, haven't they?
Oh, haven't they?
Brucey, bye.
The match hasn't even started yet.
The match hasn't even started, right? We've just been sat here watching entrances for the last 20 minutes.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. You've got to love it. You've got to love it. You've got to love the fact that
Sarge, here he is.
You've got to love the fact that me and Gene and Bobby the Brain are on commentary as well. You've just got to love it, like.
Sergeant Slaughter, he's looked exactly the same for the last 40 years.
Even his slight lip.
I know, he haven't aged. He still looks the same. Every Raw anniversary show, right, or every like Raw old school, or every like big show that they did, right, that you'd have the legends on, Sergeant Slaughter would always show up, right? Never changed. Looked exactly the same.
Remember when he was Commissioner Slaughter?
Yeah, DX used to give him hell.
Yeah.
And they put on the face shield with the windscreen wipers on because they reckon he was spitting in his face. Oh, here we go. Here's the match.
And they're off.
Oh, this is brilliant.
I love the fact the Iron Sheik is literally just like...
Just stood there, just letting people punch him. There he goes. Gobbledygooker's out there.
Is he though? Is the gobbledygooker really out of you?
Oh, Tugboat. Ta-da, mate.
Oh, and he was eliminated by this quick as well.
His buddy, like.
Kimchi, like. Kimchi. He was a seriously big guy, mind, when he one-man gang.
Yeah.
He was a massive, massive bloke.
Yeah, he was a big dude. Sure, if you look by there, though, right? You look at that ring. The Goon ain't a small guy.
No.
When he stood in the ring compared to a lot of those guys, the Goon's quite tall. Hillbilly Jim is just towering over people, though, and one-man gang.
One-man gang is huge. Kimchi ain't small, mind.
I never realised, right, that one-man gang was taller than Hillbilly Jim. Now I'm looking at this.
Yeah. But I mean, Duke of Dumpster isn't a short guy either, mate.
No. Jim Cornette is just walloping people with a racket. Like. Which one of those? Is that Butch or Luke?
That's Butch. Just gone.
Oh, there goes Cornette. Cornette injured himself there, he did.
Did he?
Yeah. I was listening to one of his shows, and they were talking about that he'd injured himself when he went over the top rope when he hit the floor.
What did he do?
I can't remember, but he hurt himself.
Broke his ass. Broke his ass.
No, it was something to do. It was something to do with his legs.
Never.
Mm.
Let's be fair. I can't ever recall him being in a wrestling ring in a proper match.
Oh, I remember Cornette falling off that scaffolding, huh?
Yeah, I remember that.
And he injured himself again doing that, didn't
he? Yeah.
Oh, there's the other bushwhacker.
There he goes.
There's Luke. He's out there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Doink at this point was
Steve Lombardi.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, There goes Hayes. Come on. Oh, one-man gang. This is one after another, but yeah, this is just get him on the show, innit? Get him on the show. It's not a wrestling masterclass. Just get him on there. Oh, I turn out Kamala.
I used to like Kamala.
Yeah, he was a great gimmick, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I like his rivalry with Undertaker, and they would have
was
like a
brilliant.
casket match.
Was brilliant, that was.
Oh, there goes Bruce and Sarge. Whoop! And there's your winner. There's your winner.
The craziest man in show business.
Iron Sheik. I love him, I do. And I will tell you one thing, right? Watch his documentary, The Sheik. It's brilliant.
I've seen bits. I haven't watched it all yet.
I really enjoyed it. It's really good.
Well, you can't have a Sergeant Slaughter appearance without a good blooming Cobra clutch. You know?
The old corporal clutch. Put it on.
I just realised as well that this Teddy Long is the referee.
He was a referee for the Good Housekeeping match we watched.
We didn't even realise.
There we are.
We didn't even realise.
Leave the fans happy. Let Sarge get his moment in.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It was a shorter one than I remember. I remember it being a lot longer than this.
But that's all right. Like I said, we're not going to be watching masterclasses.
No.
We're going to be watching the most bizarre matches. And you had to watch that, didn't you? The Gimmick Battle Royal.
We had to get the Gimmick Battle Royal in there.
They did another one as well. They did another one on, I believe it was Raw's 15th anniversary, and there was like 15 of them in it.
Well, I think because we've only been on 20 minutes at the moment, so let's have a look. Let's see if we can do a double whammy in this one. So
I've got a better idea. Right, I've got a better idea. Why don't we predict the WrestleMania card for this year?
Oh no, that is something that we're going to look into a little bit.
I want to keep one episode to one match. Let's keep it special to the one match. Let's give the respect to the Gimmick Battle Royal. The Gimmick Battle Royal doesn't deserve a double whammy. Right?
No, we're gonna find another gimmick match. I'm gonna type in gimmick here now.
Why don't you tell everybody what match you want to watch next?
Well, that's.
I'm sorry, I'm not doing a double whammy and besmirching the good name of the Gimmick Battle Royal. It deserves its own episode. Shame on you. Shame on you for even offering that.
No, I think it's just because it's been a shorter one. This one, isn't it? So we're only 23 minutes into the pod. It's a quick one.
That's okay. We can fill some space with talking. Do not besmirch the good name of the Gimmick Battle Royal. How dare you?
All right. Then okay, this is fair. This is fair. So we're gonna say, out of all those that was said, we'll analyze then, shall we?
Yeah.
So, out of all of them that was in that ring, who do you think was the best of all those gimmicks?
Best gimmick or best wrestler?
Best of the gimmicks that actually, if say that you was in control and you had those gimmicks and you had to choose one of them that you would push and you'd give a massive push to.
It would either be Iron Sheik, because Iron Sheik he had nuclear heat, because he was the Iranian who came in and he was always against the big American. Iron Sheik, definitely.
Yeah.
And Sergeant Slaughter, definitely. All of the others were kind of comedy and all, you know what I mean? Kamala, he was the Ugandan giant.
I loved Kamala. Like you just said earlier on, the stuff that he done with the Undertaker was amazing.
Yeah,
and he, like the
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, right? Kamala was never a fantastic wrestler. Sorry to cut you off there, right? He was never a fantastic wrestler, but he played his part, didn't he?
Yeah. He done what needed to be done.
Yeah.
He did what needed to be done.
Yeah, and he was involved in some pretty good programs for the times, you know what I mean? But like I said, probably the biggest two there were the two that kind of closed the show down, and that was Sarge and Iron Sheik. How about you? What do you think?
Well, I was always, like I said, I was a big fan of Kamala. I loved the whole Kamala take Epperman thing. Personally, I thought Kamala had he was really good at the especially with like Harvey Whitman and Kimchi, and I remember a time where Jim Cornette was in his corner as well and was talking for him and things like this. I think him against Yoko, like when Yoko was starting to turn sort of facey, him and Kamala could have done something really good as two big men.
Yeah, and back then people loved seeing that.
Yeah.
Like today, you see a lot more of the wrestling. You see a lot more of the flips, but the storytelling back then was a lot different. People loved seeing the big guys. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not so sought after in modern day wrestling as it was back then.
No. I personally think that Kamala and Yoko back then would have had a really, really good
program,
rivalry, like, you know, but two really big guys.
Yeah.
You know, two gimmicks from non-American countries.
Yeah.
I think that would have given really, really good numbers, I reckon, because like you said, back then it was the wonder of seeing these big guys. It's like nobody had seen anybody like the Undertaker back then.
Yeah, but once again, right? You look at it this way. You know, the Undertaker. Undertaker is my favorite wrestler ever. Right? He's always been my number one. Right? Always have. Just because he was the reason I started watching wrestling. As soon as I saw the Undertaker, I was captivated towards it.
Yeah.
But that's a gimmick. And if you look at it, anybody else who did that role, would they have pulled it off? If you think about it, if you look at the origins of the Undertaker's character, okay, it's silly.
Oh, most definitely.
He's an old Western mortician who can do like wizard spells and like blow up rings with his hands, and he's powered by an urn by this little crazy man called Paul Bearer making funny squealy noises. But no, seriously.
It's crazy, man.
I'm not knocking the Undertaker. He's the reason I'm a wrestling fan, right? But you look at it, do you know anybody else who would have been given that gimmick? That would have failed.
Oh, most definitely.
Mark Calloway took that gimmick and just made it. And of course, with the creative and the storytelling and everything, that the direction that character went in, it went in so many directions. It was like, oh, wait a minute now, this is fantastic. As I said, first time I saw him was 1996, SummerSlam. I was hooked because of him.
Well, this is what I'm saying. It's like back then, back in the early, late 80s, early 90s, there had never been a big man. They hadn't had a big man since Andre the Giant. To have this 6-7 foot guy come in and just dominate, they hadn't had that. And then even when Yoko came into the fray, such a big guy doing the flips and tricks and stuff which Yoko used to do, doing drop kicks and blooming back kicks and all this and blah blah blah. And then you had the gimmick of Kamala, which for me, I think Yoko and Kamala could have had, like, literally when Yoko was starting to sort of phase into a not so much babyface role, but he was leaning more from the heel sort of thing.
Yeah.
And Kamala had never ever not been a heel. They could not have put him not as a heel. But I think those two could have done something really crazy back in them days. You
look as well here now, okay? Yokozuna, gimmick. A Samoan guy playing a Japanese sumo wrestler.
Yeah. Yeah.
Know what I mean?
Yeah.
All of wrestling back then, everything and everyone was a gimmick.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely.
it was just good. It was good to just sit down, watch the Gimmick Battle Royal, and have a little chat about gimmicks.
Yeah, well, we have planned to do this the gimmick thing, so we're not gonna dive into too much of it because very very soon I'm hoping that we will start looking at it more into our longer pods again, and we will one of our next our upcoming pods will be top 20 whatever, bad and good gimmicks.
Yeah, we'll get into it. At the moment, though, like I said, we've had a few timing issues. We are back, but yeah, at the moment it is literally finding time because of our personal lives. But like I said, we're gonna drop a watch along every week because these are fun and I love doing them.
These are my favorite things. These are because
great.
we have a laugh. We get to watch what we love and just laugh our heads off and strip them back and just take a piss out of them, and it's brilliant and it's wicked.
At the end of the day, dude, we're wrestling fans, but I love all the comedy and silly stuff that makes me laugh and madness. I like the madness, you know what I mean, behind everything. Don't get me wrong. I could sit here and I could watch Kenny Omega and Okada. I could watch Kenny and Osprey.
Just
fantastic matches.
Just watch Kenny Omega.
Yeah, but I got a soft spot for the mad, awful things.
Same. So, that being said, Gimmick Battle Royal WrestleMania 17. 7 stars in the Tokyo Dome.
Yes. Everywhere.
There we are before. We are actually going to give these scores. So I think everything can instantly be 7 stars in the Tokyo Dome. And this
from our perspective of these matches, yeah.
And this one is no different. So, Gimmick Battle Royal WrestleMania 17. 7 stars in the Tokyo Dome, my friends.
Congratulations. Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the 7 club.
So, no, I was just about to ask you, what match do you want to watch next?
So, I don't know whether we can, for me, this had a massive comedy ending. And when we watch it, I will point out why. So, we are going to go back to 1994.
Okay.
Yes, we're going right the way back. We're going to Royal Rumble 1994.
Yes.
And we're going to go to the 2 big men. Yokozuna versus The Undertaker for the WWE Championship in a casket match.
Oh, I remember this one fondly.
So, our next 7 stars at the Tokyo Dome is going to be Yoko versus Taker. WWE Championship match, casket match. What more can we ask for? Nice.
I'm very excited to watch this one.
Yeah, this one's going to be good. So
I wasn't a wrestling fan at this time. I was only 2, but I've gone back and I've indulged and jumped into the history of wrestling. And I always remember this match was on one of the Undertaker DVDs. I think it wasn't the Undertaker's Deadliest Matches. I think it was just like the Undertaker Matches DVD, some of his greatest matches.
Yeah.
And this one was on there. And I used to quite frequently go back and watch this one.
I'm excited.
Match. I'm excited to relive this one. So yeah, thank you very much.
I've got a little story to tell about this match.
Keep it.
So if you want to check out this pretty cool story.
Yes.
And it is a pretty cool story.
Yeah.
So if you want to check it out,
no spoilers.
You have to tune in next pod for Yoko and Taker Royal Rumble 1994. I am Smithy G. You have been watching the TWD 7 stars in the Tokyo Dome. I'm going to leave you with Lucha for our sign off. Go on, Luch.
Thank you, everyone. Viva la Shiki, baby.